Drew's outlook on the word support is different than mine.
Right.
Season 1, his sister was living down here, and he could drop Cameron off and hit it. You know, she was taking him to school, picking him up from school. That was his primary caretaker, and it wasn't that way for me.
Right.
So when I decided to have a baby, my parents were like, "We're not getting up in the middle of the night." And, you know, and again, in that scene where Drew and I had to fix my life moment, I said to him, "Don't act like I was not and am not a damn good mother."
Right.
Because you were there. And I would complain that you would sleep through the night. And I was doing it by myself, and that's okay. But don't act like I don't do it. Don't act like I haven't done it. Don't act like I didn't want to do it. Because that's a lie. You know it and I know it. And he acknowledged that. And unfortunately, a lot of stuff doesn't, you know, make the cut. Well, that's not how my parents chose to support.
Right.
Their support is different. So.
All right. So, speaking of relationships, you and Rich Dollaz. So we knew on the show you guys were together. Everything was cool, but there's been some rumors that you guys broke up, and he's now dating his former baby mother now. So
He's not dating Ashley. That's
her
his
name.
daughter. That's his daughter.
That's his daughter. Okay.
Ashley's his daughter. He's not dating Ashley's mother. Ashley's mother is actually married, and I don't know her. Never met her.
Right.
But from what I've heard about her from Rich, she's an amazing mother. And I have not met Ashley. I have not met any of his children. They're very good kids, you know, make great grades. That's what I know. And so just based off of that, mom has to rock. You know what I mean? Like, she has to be doing her job. She's got to be a great mom for that to be happening. Because that's not naturally instilled in any child. You know, that's a learned, you know, discipline and work ethic and, you know, regiment. Those are learned behaviors.
Right.
And mom and dad have to be on the same page if a child is going between both homes. She's actually married, you know, and I'm all for healthy co-parenting.
Right.
They're friends. So the fuck what? Like, I'm happy about that.
Right.
Because that's less problems for me in the relationship. You know what I mean?
So you guys currently are still together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We go up and down.
Right.
He's an emotional. He tries to act like, you know, his favorite thing is, I'm a sociopath. I don't feel shit. Bullshit. Yes, you do. And that's okay. You need to be you. You need to be Richie. You need to do Richie. Go do Richie. And then text me and call me later and tell me how much you love me. That's fine too. Like, whatever. At this point, I never know what I'm going to get on any given day with him. So his triggers are hairline triggers.
Right. Okay. So with you guys still being together, I did see with this last episode, well, not the last episode, you know, this week, that you and Fizz was kind of pretty much getting close again, and he had you as the main feature for his video. And then you asked him a question about you two, you know, did he still have feelings for you? So
let's clear that up.
Yeah, let's clear that up.
Editing is about a bit. Let me be very clear. He came to me after Nikki shut him down. So that's number one.
So Nikki shut him down.
Nikki decided not to do the video. She didn't feel like it was good for her brand. It wasn't the way she wanted it, you know, whatever. So she opted not to do it. So it wasn't like I was his first choice. I was second fiddle. But because we were on this path of being supportive and being nice and being friends and being co-parents, I decided to support.
Right.
He's been more supportive and more understanding when I now want to get in the studio, and when I, you know what I mean, like, he'll pick Cam up for me and I'll, you know, go back and get him, whatever the case. So we're supporting each other because we want each other to be successful. I've always wanted him to be successful. And that's what, in my personal opinion, makes me such a dope-ass baby mama, because I've never put you on paper. I don't believe in that. I don't ask you for a dime. all I asked was that you respect me. This boy is 5.5 years old. You have given me, in 5.5 years, a 10-pack of diapers. Let us be clear. So, yeah, with that being said, now we're on this path of support, and I've let that go. And so you asked me to do the video? Okay. Now, I let Rich know ahead of time. I plan to talk to Drew because I'm not the type of person that can just sweep shit under the rug. I still have questions that I need answered.
Right.
And anytime I tried to do that before, it was me reminiscing or taking a trip down memory lane or I still want him or whatever.
So this was Rich accusations that's what you were doing when you want to have your moment.
No. I'm saying that was what, anytime I ever tried to have these conversations with Drew would shut me down because he took it as
that. Okay.
As all those things.
Okay.
And now that we're in a place where we can actually communicate, I wanted answers. And I was confused as to why all of a sudden this conversation was weighing so heavy on my heart. And it dawned on me in that scene, I was very clear with Drew. It dawned on me that he had a chance to grieve the relationship. I did not. Because from the very beginning of the end of Drew and I was fighting my mom, I was fighting him, I was fighting the system, I was fighting for my child. So what I felt, what I was going through, didn't matter. I didn't have time to stop and consider me. And I didn't have time to stop and really process that this relationship with the person that I was engaged to and planning to marry and have more kids with was over.
Right.
Because everything, in terms of us ending, happened so quick and it exploded so fast. So it was I need my what ifs, and in that scene I was very clear. I'm with Rich. This is who I want to be with forever. Don't mistake this conversation as me being in love with you. I do not want to re-spark an intimate relationship with you. I said all those things.
Okay.
And of course they didn't make the cut. I said, however, and I even said the whole thing about grieving the relationship, and he said he understood.
Right. So basically at this moment, you guys are in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
You're with Rich, and everything is all good.
Yeah, and I made it very clear that's where I wanted to be, and I'm ready to move on with Rich.
Exactly.
But this is one of the things that I just need to understand.
Right.
And I need you to understand me. And I said, I made it very clear, I do not mistake your being supportive as you being in love with me. Because I could have easily turned around and said, well, he gave me a ring on Christmas and it was from Cameron, but that means he's still in love with me. Well, the ring was sized for my ring finger because he had my rings sized from all those years ago. I don't know if he remembered or what, but that's the only finger it fit. And I could have easily turned around and said that, but I didn't take it as that. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to love Drew, or Cameron wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Drew will always love me. I don't care what he says. Or Cameron wouldn't be here. He would have pulled out. He would have worn a condom. Something. But Cameron is here, and he's here as a result of two people that were in love with each other.
To, get along to be better co-parents.
Absolutely. Right. And so my what ifs in that scene, in that episode that the world is going to see next week, it wasn't what if we were together. It was what if I'd never left. Those are two different completely what ifs.
And we all have our
and my what if I'd never left was we wouldn't be where we are today.
Right.
One of us would be dead, in jail, or alive, but so emotionally damaged that it would have been irreparable.
Right.
And I can't imagine if someone had told me a year ago, you and Drew are going to go through hell and back and you'll come out, being really good friends and excellent co-parents. I would have told you to get you a 9mm, stand on the Brooklyn Bridge, and pull the trigger midair because you don't know what you're talking about. That's how bad it was. So now I feel like we can have these talks, and I told Rich before I had the talk, I said this could blow up this could backfire because it's going to go one of two ways because I know how he processes. The first thing is it's going to backfire on me because he could very well say the floodgates of heaven have opened up and I've waited for this day, let's be together.
So if Fizz was to say, hey, I still have feeling for you, I still love you, I want us to be together for the sake of our family, what would be your response?
I love you to death, but you and I both know that that's not healthy and that's not what I want.
All right, so okay.